good friends, Trevor Scott and Kerry Dempsey. How are we doing tonight, boys?
We're back. Just like that. We're back.
We're back. It's barely football off season.
It is our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is this still season 1 or is this?
This is off season.
Yeah.
There's no season number for this.
Different. Well, like theoretically.
Theoretically, no.
It's its own thing.
Because we had the season 1 finale. That's what the episode was
and we're
called.
talking about draft stuff later.
Yeah.
So, didn't mean to put that in there. Anyways, how are you, Zach? What'd you guys do on your first Tuesday night off in a very long time?
I went to sleep early.
I sat home and cried because I missed Beerly football so much. I was like,
Cuba.
Where else could I listen to Carson Wentz praise all night long? Like,
you can listen to
just
pretty
here.
much anywhere.
So sad.
Anywhere.
So, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Trevor, you can go
As you've
first.
seen, already started to get a little beerly. Got the Modelo going. Same thing I had last episode. I think I had a Modelo for Zach and a Yingling for Carrie. But Zach, your hair looks better than Carrie's tonight, so I went with the Modelo.
Wow. I mean,
what are you having, Carrie?
what do you expect? I mean, I changed it up last episode, and I had to go back Miller Lite again. Shocker. Stick to my thing. I do promise, in maybe an episode or two, I will get a new beer I've never tried on the show. So wait for that.
Okay.
Get an import.
It'll be something different. You'll see.
Technically,
You'll like it.
Because you gassed up the Super Bowl episode. You gassed that like you were gonna bring in something crazy, and you brought in a Miller Lite.
Hey, it's different. It's not Bud Light.
I was disappointed. What about you, Zach? You always got something funky.
So, I don't have anything crazy funky this week, okay? So, just to preface what's going to happen in this podcast, we're going to talk about the NFC South, okay? And what do I think of when I think of the NFC South? I think of
Mike Allstott.
Southern people. And what do Southern people drink? It's certainly not craft beer. But you know what? Southern people do get the chance to play a lot of. They get a chance to play a lot of golf.
Cornhole.
So I'm having spiked Arnold Palmers.
Not beer. Come on.
It's got
It's
the
off
same.
season.
It's off
Get him
season.
off the podcast right now.
And for our golf fans out there, the Arnold Palmer Invitational was this past weekend. So
Yeah, all one of you. I'm just kidding.
Really golf.
I'm a golf fan.
But that's what I'm having tonight. So before we get into NFC South talk, couple big breaking news over this past week, especially. Aaron Rodgers is re-signing. The deal is not yet out. It's not, from what I understand, it's not for 200. It's not 200 over 4.
Shefty said 200 over 4.
Shefty lies all the time, sadly.
But Aaron Rodgers said that that's not the case. He said the deal that he and the management had discussed was a cap-friendly deal in hopes to bolster that roster.
And I feel like it's just pointless to get a contract that big. He's only complaining about not getting help, and then he's just going to take up the entire cap of the giant contract when he already has tons of money.
So from what I understand, that's not the case. He's actually.
You want somebody to say no to $200 million, Gary?
How much money does Aaron Rodgers already have from those stupid advertisements?
You think he's not a little greedy? You think Aaron Rodgers isn't a little greedy?
Hey, what did Tom Brady do to win? He took less money.
Let's talk about Tom Brady.
I'm saying that Aaron Rodgers has dispelled the rumors that, one, he hasn't signed a contract. He said that he is coming back, but he has not signed a contract. And two, is that it was a cap-friendly deal, definitely not the 200 over 4. So that's piece 1 of breaking news. Piece 2 of breaking news.
Piece 1A.
Oh,
so they brought
1B for Beerly. 1B.
Okay, they brought Rodgers back.
Yeah.
They brought Adams back. Isn't this gonna be the same team that keeps failing to get the Super Bowl every year? How is it gonna be different?
Kind of depends on what they decide to do in this year's draft, I think.
Mediocre defense, not weapons besides Adams. They must offered something to Rodgers. Hey, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna get you some help this year, but
we need Goot back on. We should have had Goot on tonight. She would know exactly what to do.
She's
say,
happy.
Our first pick, we're going to take this. Free agency, we're going to do this. She would know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But are we ready to move on to 2?
We're ready to move on to 2. And number 2.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers.
Number 2 is Denver Broncos acquire Russell Wilson from the Seahawks for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a couple of players, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes. Drew Lock, Noah Fant. God, who's the other one?
He's a defensive lineman who's pretty decent.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Come on, we got to know this stuff. We're on a football podcast. We have fans. You're going to make me look it up on Twitter right now?
I'm disappointment. I mean, it's the Drew Lock season. He's going to turn around the Seahawks franchise. Maybe. Yes. No. Probably not.
I think he will, man.
No, Kerry.
I don't think there's any way he starts, honestly. I feel like they're going to take a rookie or pick up a veteran. I just don't see them. Yeah, I was gonna say that, then I was like, no, that's wrong. But then,
Kerry, say all that stuff you were saying in the group chat the other day about Drew Lock.
He's not that much worse than all these rookies in the draft class. None of these rookies are that impressive.
I don't think he's worse than
not what you said.
He's pretty young too. Like all these rookies have huge question marks.
Shelby Harris is the name of the.
Yeah, we already said it, Zach. Come on.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Sorry. Like you look at the rookies. All question marks. Pickett's got his little small hands. Willis did not have great competition. Howell, who knows?
You said Drew Lock is better
injury.
Malik Willis by miles.
Malik Willis has only played in Liberty. Like, how do you know he's going to translate to the NFL?
But he's better by miles.
Question marks. I never said by miles.
No, you literally said that. By miles.
I?
I'm reading the text right now.
Word for word.
Are we gonna start showing text? Are we gonna start showing text? Because there's gonna be some bad blood in this on this podcast. So we start showing text. But
I think
what do you think?
Seahawks won that trade.
The Seahawks. I agree. I think the Seahawks won that trade.
Russell going down. Like,
what do you mean?
Russell is way past his prime. Way past his prime.
They almost made the playoffs with Teddy Bridgewater. And it was anybody's AFC this year. It was anybody's playoffs AFC this year. You don't think Russell Wilson could have done some damage in the AFC playoffs
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that the Seahawks got more for Russell Wilson than they probably could have anywhere else. I think that Denver bit because they want that guy that's going to get them to the playoffs. I don't think this Denver team with Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl contender.
Russell's
they got a top 3 defense in the league at worst.
They just traded one of their defensive linemen.
He's not going to make or break defense.
I know it's not going to make or break their defense. But they also gave up. I mean, they're giving up basically
nothing.
Giving up basically their future.
They're going all in.
They're going all in.
The picks were good, but they already don't trust Drew Lock.
I know that.
They released Bobby Wagner. They don't trust Drew Lock at all. They're either going to take a rookie and start the rookie next year or see if Drew Lock can win them 7 games in the hardest division in football.
We're talking about the Broncos.
I know, but y'all are gassing the Seahawks like they won the trade.
The
picks were great.
It was time to rebuild. They weren't going to win with. They weren't going to win with Russ, right?
Yeah, they weren't.
With the rest of the team, do you agree?
Yes.
The team is terrible. Who's the best player? Jamal Adams now? Exactly. They got a ton of picks. Noah Fant still.
Freddie Swain.
You got Noah Fant. You got Lockett and Metcalf if they keep them. If you find a quarterback, start rebuilding that defense with all the picks they got.
If they keep them, you think DK Metcalf want to play with Drew Lock?
Are
they going to? I doubt they'll start Drew Lock this year.
I think they should give Drew Lock a shot.
As opposed, what else are they going to do?
I say they'll get another veteran or draft a rookie.
The problem with that is the time to get another veteran's passed. If they wanted another veteran, they just have kept Russ. And clearly they don't want that. They want to rebuild, start younger. Drew Lock is still very young. I don't think he's gotten quite a fair shake going to Denver and playing with Bridgewater. I don't think he got a fair shake there. He's never had significant starting time in the NFL, so it's hard to see where he's actually at.
Y'all are tripping. Denver is going to be a top 4 AFC team next year. All year.
The AFC stacked this year.
Yeah.
Huh?
Russ is going downhill.
Bro, don't say something about the Chargers. Tell me what teams are going to be better than Denver, one at a time, and I'll tell you why they're not.
KC.
Yes.
Bills.
But they already beat KC once with Teddy Bridgewater.
KC, Bills.
Yeah. KC is not unbeatable.
I know they're not unbeatable.
That's not the
question. That's not the question if they're unbeatable. KC is a better team. All right?
Okay.
Bills are a better team.
Yeah.
You have the team that came runner-up in the Super Bowl, the team that lost the Super Bowl, the Bengals on the rise.
I like a healthy Ravens.
They're in the same boat as the Bengals, the same tier.
Healthy Ravens.
Again, that's speculation.
Chargers.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Chargers got a worse defense, worse O-line.
You're right. None of that can be fixed in an offseason, Trevor. None of that can be fixed in an offseason. I'm sorry.
Have we seen any signs of it being fixed in the offseason? What's a rookie going to do? That whole defense is bad.
It's called signing a free agent, bud.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
Okay, you think all the free agents in the world want to go to the Chargers right now, a team that missed the playoffs?
It's in L.A. It's in the biggest market in the world. What are you talking about?
Trevor, how did the Rams win? By trading and signing players, not by drafting a bunch of guys.
Okay, so you don't think every team's going to do that? You think just the Chargers are going to do that?
I think the Chargers have a better pull because they're in L.A.
They have one of the best young up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league.
You know who else has one of the best? Allen can't even make playoffs, so.
Not the Broncos.
Look. Top 4 team all year. They're in the second tier of the AFC. That is my first take for next season.
Trevor, what kind of odds? Trevor, what kind of odds will you give me on the Denver Broncos missing the playoffs?
Excellent.
You think they're going to miss the playoffs?
No, I would give you those odds being excellent. I mean, no. I don't know. I didn't understand the question. They are not missing the playoffs.
So, would you say 20-1?
I don't know. I do pick them. I do over-unders. I live in Florida. I can't do all that stuff.
Okay, over-under wins next year for the Broncos. 10 or more.
Yeah, 10 or more.
Okay, what are you taking? Over-under?
So 10.5?
Yeah.
Over.
I'm taking the under.
All right, let's do it.
I'll take under too.
All right, we'll see. That's my first. That's not even that hot of a take. It's my first take for next year. My first serious take.
AFC's gonna be tough.
Yep. All right. So
we spent 70% of this past year talking about how bad the AFC was. They had an entertaining playoffs, and now all of a sudden it's the best thing in the world. Give me a break. Broncos 12-5.
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay.
All right. What about the other top 10 quarterback traded?
Last bit of breaking news: the Indianapolis Colts trade away Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders.
Can't wait for this one.
What do you guys think about the trade? Who do you think won the trade? Go ahead.
Nobody. The Colts aren't going to get a quarterback that much better than Wentz. The Washington's not going to win with Wentz. Nobody wins this. They're 2 loser franchises, sadly.
Go ahead, Trevor. Or just fall asleep on camera, yeah. Just fall asleep on camera.
No, you were cutting out. I was seeing what was wrong with my phone. But
no, there wasn't.
I think I really don't care, at all. I don't care about the Colts. I don't care about Carson Wentz. And I don't care about the Commanders. I get the implications. Carson Wentz is better than anything. If you're not going to draft a quarterback this year and you have a chance to get Carson Wentz in your Washington, I respect it. He's got to play the Eagles twice this year, which is going to be interesting, very fun to watch. It'll give me a reason to watch an Eagles and Commanders game because I promised I would never do that.
What's the over-under on Carson Wentz getting hurt by week 5?
one of the picks is conditional, right? He has to play 70% of snaps.
With Washington QB's luck and injuries, there's no way he finishes the season.
I'm gonna say this.
Jeez.
Carson Wentz is
first take of the year is a freaking-
My first hot take of the year is that the Washington Commanders make the playoffs next season,
but the Broncos don't.
And
I don't agree with this.
Win the division. They win the division. They win the NFC East next season with Carson Wentz at the helm.
I'd say it'd be their defense at the helm, not Carson Wentz at the helm if they did make playoffs.
Who's what do you say at the helm? Trevor, when I say at the helm, do you picture a quarterback or an entire 11-man group on defense?
I picture Chase Young.
I picture Noah Helms. Ed Helms, I mean.
Sure, why not?
Carrie does not understand why that's funny, but that's funny. Okay. All right. No, I'm serious. I think this Washington Commanders team, if they can fix some spots on the O-line and they can give Carson Wentz one more weapon, I think that this team is a real contender for the playoffs and a real contender in the NFC East.
What are you
I thought you were going to say NFC. I was going to...
No. I don't think they'll win the NFC. I think that they will make the playoffs and potentially win the NFC East.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's respectable. Was there one more? Did something else big happen?
Those are the big three.
Those are the big three.
Oh, Calvin Ridley, but we could talk about that with our Falcons fan.
Yeah, we want to talk about the Calvin Ridley thing with our Falcons fan. But yeah, I think Commanders win 10 games next year.
Kyle Pitts MVP season incoming.
Because not only does he play the Eagles twice, he also plays the Colts once.
He does.
Revenge game.
Yeah, you know what they say about revenge game Carson Wentz.
He's the best.
It's like Game 6 LeBron, same thing.
Yeah,
at Beerly Hoops on Twitter, if you guys want to follow.
Okay.
How many times, Trevor, what's the over-under on how many times you're going to plug Beerly Hoops during this podcast?
More than they get listeners.
I would say 4.5.
4.5?
4.5 or 5.5.
I'm going to take definitely the over on the 4.5.
One of the best parts about my life right now is I just finished my cashews.
I don't know. I could see winning 8 or 9 games. Above that, I don't know.
It kind of depends on what they do in the offseason. Like I said, they definitely have some holes they need to fill up.
They get hurt every year.
But that has to do with getting the offensive line figured out and making sure that you're not top half of the league in terms of sacks allowed.
I mean, the NFC East is pretty much a joke anyway, so
anyway.
Like that. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I can't wait for that episore of the offseason, the NFC East.
I can wait. Yeah, I can. But one more thing before we start bringing these guests on, we got the Bucs, Saints, Panthers, Falcons. Who is the best player in the division? What do we think?
Ooh, Bucs, Panthers.
Heading into, I guess, either should we do last year or heading into next? We should do last year. Who is the best player overall in the division?
I feel like it's CMC health. He's got to be in consideration, but not anymore. Honestly, Tristan Wirfs should be out there too.
Okay.
Offensive lineman, classic character.
Oh, Demario Davis should get some love.
I really like. I like Devin White. I like how versatile he is as a linebacker. He can drop back in coverage. He can blitz. He's probably one of the best young linebackers in football. So I'd probably go Devin White just because of his versatility on defense.
I'm taking Alvin Kamara, 1A.
Is he even playing?
1B, Kyle Pitts. But we don't have to talk about it. We can just move on.
Oh, my God. You need to get off of Kyle Pitts train. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Just talking about it.
All right, ready to talk some Bucs?
We should be here soon.
That's my team, too, so I'm excited for it.
Oh, there she is. Hey, Riley.
Hi. Good to see y'all.
So, everybody, this is our resident Bucs fan, Riley Richards, coming into us live. So, How are you doing tonight, Riley? What are you up to?
Good. I just came from trivia, so very adult things going on in my life. And I've been watching, and I'm super glad Russell left the Seahawks, and Aaron Rodgers is staying put for some reason. And in Trask, I trust. So that's where I'm at right now.
Trask, you trust.
Yes. I am on Trask bandwagon. I hope the preseason games just shows that he has the poise like a burrow in the pocket, and he has the arm. And I think if you can make it in the SEC, you can make it in the NFL. And we've seen that with a young quarterback.
Did you hear that, Zach? You freaking Miami fan?
Y'all need to watch out for Tyler Van Dyke next season. That's all I'm saying. Tyler Van Dyke going on a Heisman run next year. You can count on it.
Count on that. Let's see that.
So first off, heading into next season, Bucs had some key losses. What would you say some of their strengths are heading into next season?
I think I'm a big picture type girl, right? I think I think your whole organization starts with your back office, right? And then that vision is translated to coaching. And that coaching vision is taken to a spearhead at your quarterback position. So obviously the biggest loss in the universe is Tom Brady. But I'm hoping that we kind of carry on his blueprint. He gave us the blueprint in his first season, and second season, I think it was just Matt Stafford's time, and no one was getting in his way or OBJ's way. But obviously keeping his legacy alive, keeping that standard of excellence, and filling in at quarterback with hopefully Trask. And then maybe Gabbert could have some like Fitzmagic type fill-ins if we need it. But because that was always so fun. But I'm really not worried about the South. Like, I'm not worried about the Saints, even though they have given issues in the regular season the past few seasons. And then that one guy retired, one of our linemen. That's kind of sad.
Ali Marpet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a loss. That's a big loss.
Yeah.
They lost like 3 of their best offensive linemen.
Yeah, Jensen's a agent too.
So we're gonna need a couple, and we're gonna need another running back, I think. Playoff.
Keyshawn Vaughn is not it.
Nope,
yeah,
definitely not.
Playoff Lenny wasn't the same this season, sadly for us. But yeah, I'm optimistic for sure. I think the South should be ours if we can.
All right, and so we already talked about strengths. Obviously, losing Brady is a loss. What are some of the other big weaknesses on this Bucs roster heading into the 2022 season?
I didn't really like our secondary coverage. I think that was our weakest point against the Rams. They were just falling all over us. So honestly, I don't think it could hurt to fill in the backfield a bit, because defense wins championships, as we saw with the Rams and Aaron Donald and all that this season.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and they weren't healthy for most of the year, but second half, even when everybody came back and they were healthy, they weren't the same as the Super Bowl season. Guys like Sean Murphy Bunting, but
it's
a good point. Defensive backfield needs some work.
We need something.
So would you say that's their number one goal this offseason is to fill that back into that defense?
Number one goal, I think, has to be the quarterback.
And that's either developing Trask or finding someone to replace Brady. Okay.
And I don't really think like there's any who are the veteran quarterbacks who are available right now?
I wanted them to get Aaron Rodgers and Russ, and they both got that's not happening in the past day.
Yeah.
I'm on Derek Carr. I'm on the Derek Carr.
Oh. I don't want Winston back ever in a million billion years. I think the NFL has a requirement for IQ, and unfortunately, I don't think he hits it. And I've said that since Florida State. He was at Florida State, and he's just also a perfect example of why the ACC will never, ever align with the SEC or live up to them.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge flop, in my opinion. 30 for 30, travesty. I'll never forget 30 for 30, ever. That was such a painful year. There's no way Trask can be that bad. So, give him a shot.
What their first round pick this year? What position do you think they should take? Young guy.
I don't know.
Right away, play the majority of snaps. Probably line, honestly.
Someone for the line. Yeah, couldn't hurt.
With all those losses, that definitely wouldn't hurt to pick up someone in the first round. It kind of depends on who's available, though. Like I was looking at some experts talking about the Bucks, and they were talking about picking up an edge rusher. The guy from Georgia was on that list. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but one of the Georgia edge rushers was on that list.
He's overrated.
Whatever his name is, he's overrated.
But
we're not talking about UGA tonight. Like, let's just keep that.
Oh, y'all talking about the SEC a whole lot, and then y'all don't want to talk about UGA.
I was happy for UGA. I'm so glad that the most obnoxious fan base in the world finally got the championship.
You ever met a Miami Hurricanes fan?
Oh man, look at this.
So irrelevant. I don't even pay any mind to Miami until maybe you see if they get a new face or something.
It's crazy because, like, you know, Florida fans feel all high and mighty because they had a championship 18 years ago or something like that, and then
that's forgotten too.
They haven't won anything since then. So I mean, they feel really good about themselves, but I just don't see it.
I mean,
18. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like I was 2 years old when that happened.
What's that Miami team doing, Zach?
You talk like you're still 2 years old. With that kind of math.
That Miami team just got one of the hottest young head coaches, one of the hottest head coaches in college football, Mario Cristobal.
You think he's hot?
That's exciting. Yeah. Congratulations.
I do think he's hot. Jumped our recruiting class up from 56 to top 20 in 3 weeks. That's a big deal.
That's exciting.
I mean, I know this isn't a college football podcast, but since everyone's attacking me as a Miami fan, I feel like I got to defend myself. And we got one of the best young quarterbacks in football, and Tyler Van Dyke behind center.
Give it a parade.
It's gonna be a big year for Miami football. I'm telling you guys right now.
I'm excited.
And it's still tight end university. We got the #1 recruit at tight end. So,
you know, I like to give credit where it's due, and you know, if you guys pull yourselves out of the gutter, I'd be so proud and so happy for you.
So back to the Bucks. Where do you think Gronk's going to play next season? Think he'll be back with Tampa? Retire? Buffalo? Where else?
Buffalo.
I just hope he retires because I feel really not optimistic about his long-term health or mental health. Obviously, he's like
He's a genius.
I'm just really concerned about CTE and him. I think
as I drink a beer with peanuts in it.
Ew. Yeah, I think he should. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers should also retire because he's never winning a Super Bowl. But I think Gronk should retire. But
Aaron Rodgers is that guy. He should keep playing however long he wants. I like that guy.
Wow, what a great take. I like that guy.
That's the hottest take I think I've ever heard. I like that guy.
That guy just does not give a single F, and he does whatever he wants, but he doesn't win Super Bowls anymore.
All right. So, obviously...
You're a Bucs fan?
Yeah, I've been a Bucs fan for most of my life, painfully.
How old are you?
I am 27.
What do you know about Super Bowls with a plural? You know, how old were you in 2002?
I think I was 8. I remember it. I remember.
Oh, yeah, you know about it then. You know about it.
Older than you, Trevor. She was older than you.
Yeah, you're right.
I suffered the Winston years, okay? And Brady was...
The Freeman years, the Winston years.
I'm 15. Yeah. I'm not 15. I promise. YouTube, don't take this off.
Oh, my
I just wrecked us. We're getting taken down.
All right.
So, do you think the Bucs will be better or worse record-wise than they were last year?
Worse, probably, as we have to make big adjustments. And I mean, who do we even have? Like, are the Falcons going to be any good? Is like anyone
They
in
got
this
Kyle Pitts.
good?
Trevor's in love with Kyle Pitts.
We gotta see. We gotta wait a few weeks. Saints have potential. Panthers could if Sam Darnold could, do his thing.
Sam Darnold's bad.
We don't have to slander him for no reason. But the only real threat is the Saints. If they could have a consistent quarterback, we'd worried about the Saints a little bit. But if the Bucs don't get good quarterback play, this is going to be a really mediocre division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we're not like the West. The West is crazy. And I just pray Trask could, live up to what the young quarterbacks in the league have been doing. It's been really, I think, exciting to see like Jones and Burrow and those SEC guys represent. Because I think it's like Burrow said, like the SEC is a more hostile environment than the NFL. Like crowd-wise and a lot of
SEC.
All right, Riley. Well, thank you for coming on, talking Bucs with us for a little bit. We really appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Go Bucs, go Gators forever.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you for coming on.
Bucs by 50, by the way.
Okay, they're going 0-17 next year.
Well, Trevor,
jinxed it.
Trevor, here's your question. You are a Bucs fan.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think will be the Week 1 starter for the Bucs next year?
Derek Carr.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Write it down.
Derek Carr.
I physically can't because it's impossible.
I can't see it.
So what about you guys? You think the Bucs are better or worse off than they were? Or you think they're going to be better?
Yeah.
Is that a serious question?
Is that a real answer?
Right now?
Is that a real answer?
Yeah, but the team without Tom Brady is going to be better.
Hey, you get Zach drinking a little more of that Arnold Palmer, he might agree with you on that.
Yeah.
No, it goes beyond Tom Brady. You have the 3 offensive linemen. You have all these issues with the secondary. You can't address all that in one offseason. You can't. It's impossible.
Wait, but you can address this and that in the offseason, but
you can't
it's just
address
everybody
an
saw what the Saints
line.
did.
No, listen. You can't
it's
address
okay.
an offensive line.
I don't have to argue
a quarterback
about it. But anyways,
and a defensive
moving
secondary.
on
I don't know. This should be interesting. I mean, really, none of these teams know their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah.
Exception of the Falcons, but even Ryan, and you never know.
Yeah.
With all the crazy trades lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it should be a very interesting division.
It is. And so moving on from the Bucs, a team who started off kind of hot this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers with my guy Panthers, not Panthers. Carrie.
Saints.
What am I doing? Saints. My bad. Saints, who got some talent on both sides of the ball, struggled at quarterback this year, first year without Drew Brees. We got our first Saints guest on tonight. You want to introduce yourself a little bit for us?
Hey everybody, this is Tina. I am live from New Orleans. I am the host of Floors Truly Podcast and the managing editor for Canal Street Chronicles.
Hey, okay, well, it's good to have you on. We appreciate having you on. Talk a little bit about us, with us, about the Saints. Reached out to you on Twitter a little earlier today. I didn't know if you want to give that a plug too.
Yes, you can follow me at TheNOLAGirl, like New Orleans, at TheNOLAGirl on Twitter.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was so confused about what team we were doing next, but
good job.
That's okay. Saints fans have been confused for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think anybody in the that division's pretty confused right now.
Yeah, it's been an interesting off season so far. Very unexpected things happening, but hey, we've been through worse. I've been a Saints fan for a very long time. I've seen the pre Drew Brees era. So lived through the Ditka sold the farm and all the animals trade. So this is not anything new to me, but a lot of our newer fans who are, came on board in the last like 15 years only know, Drew Brees, Sean Payton era and, win, and don't know what hard times are. So, for us OGs, it's not anything, crazy for us right now.
So, I mean, the really two big questions with the Saints, we got a new coach and possibly new quarterback. So, first of all, who do you think will be starting at QB for the Saints week 1 next season?
I'm hoping Jameis Winston. I think it'll be Jameis Winston.
Okay.
He's been here in New Orleans over the last couple of weeks, spotted in the French Quarter all throughout the city, taking pictures with fans. I know he wants to be here. I know the team wants to negotiate with him. It's just a matter of, whether we're going to be able to afford him because, I have a feeling there's some teams out there that are going to throw the bank at him. And I just don't know if we can match any offers because, we have a little bit of a salary cap issue right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which when haven't we had a salary cap issue? Mickey and Kai do a great job of manipulating that money, but it's all going to matter of what the deal goes on the table and who he signs with. But when it's all said and done, dust settles, I think he'll be back.
And you think last year he's playing pretty well, didn't really turn the ball over much.
No.
I forget the record was before his injury, but if he had not gone down last year, you think they were definitely headed towards the playoffs?
Oh, definitely. He went 5-2 for us. He threw over 1,100 yards. He was 14-3. He had 109 passer rating. So we finished the season 9-8 and just barely missed the playoffs when we were down to our fourth string quarterback at one point. So between all the injuries, COVID, relocating from a hurricane, I definitely think if Jameis wouldn't have got hit and been out for the season with that ACL, MCL injury, I definitely think we would have made the playoffs.
That Ian Book game was pretty hard to watch last year.
Really unfair. But that's a whole nother story for another day. Saints weren't really ever held to standards and consistent with COVID policies from the get-go, from not last season, but the season before last, being penalized for celebrations in the locker room. Other teams were doing it as well. We had record number of players out for that game. They didn't even consider, postponing it, which was just absolutely crazy. So I can't even, people were like, well, how do you feel about Ian Book? And I'm like, I can't really even tell you because the poor guy didn't really have a shot. We knew we were going to lose that game. He's not going to be my starting quarterback this year, so I'm not really concerned about it. We still don't know what's going to happen with him, where he's going to develop, if he even gets a shot to get to that point. Because, you've got Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, and Trevor Siemian ahead of him. But, again, we finished 9-8. I definitely think had Jameis not gotten hurt, we definitely, would have probably taken the division. We swept Brady twice. And that was it with all the injuries.
Yeah, y'all gave me headaches. I'm a Bucks fan. That was so annoying. Was it like 9-0 or something?
If we had this defense 10 years ago, we would have multiple Lombardis. It's just our defense is absolutely incredible. It's a shame some of the games and seasons that we lost with Drew because our defense just didn't step up and Drew carried this team. And now over the last couple of seasons, the defense has been carrying us.
Yeah, and last year they had a ton of injuries too.
Yeah, we had a record number of injuries. That between that and COVID, we had like 22 players out for that COVID game. Record number of injuries, but most of our guys are coming back. Our main concerns as far as free agency is on the offensive side and the O line, but our defense is pretty solid. Cam's coming back. Demario will be back. Marcus Williams is a big question mark. They're trying to get a long-term deal with him. We've got Lattimore, CD Deuce, Davenport, so we're pretty solid on that side of the ball. I'm not really concerned. That's our strength, is our defense.
So what do you say the biggest weakness is going for next year?
Wide receivers. We have to get somebody opposite of Michael Thomas. I don't know. coming back off of an injury like he had and being out for as long as he was, I hope that he can return to the caliber player that he was. And I have no reason to think otherwise right now. But I mean, we've got to get somebody opposite of him. I mean, these guys are like, Traquan Smith and Jordan Humphrey. These guys are like nobodies. They're like scrubs. I mean, Deontay Hardy did really good for us, but I mean, he's also on special teams. You don't want to put him out there. We can't rely on Alvin Kamara because, as you saw last season, he got worn down really quickly and wound up getting hurt and was out a couple of games. Thank goodness we re-signed Mark Ingram, but we got to get some guys that can catch.
Yeah, and with Jameis, the way he was playing before he went out, like this division, like I said when we were talking about the Bucs, is going to be super mediocre next year. Like if they all perform how they performed this year, and then the Bucs without Brady. So if Jameis can be what he was, I mean, the numbers, the touchdown to interception numbers were amazing. The yards weren't always there, but they didn't really need him to throw for 300 yards a game. So if he can, contain himself and play how he was playing before he went down, I could definitely see the Saints walking away with the division this year.
Yeah.
You think they could win a playoff game with Jameis Winston?
Sean Payton held him back for a while. It was very obvious. I mean, a lot of chatter within, the circle that Sean Payton was holding him back. And I don't know if it was trust issues. I don't know if Jameis, wasn't quite there yet. I mean, I know he had LASIK surgery. He said that was a huge issue that played into his performance. He changed his fundamentals on how he was throwing the ball. He worked in the offseason with a lot of our receivers, so there was chemistry there. But I mean, as far as me feeling confident with him, I mean, what he did for us in a short period of time in 7 games, I have no reason to be concerned about it.
Well, sorry. Like you said,
what are you doing?
I'm so sorry.
This guy.
That's when you had too much beer on a podcast.
Yeah.
This is a beer podcast.
It is.
All right. What should they do with their first round pick this year?
Draft a wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a smart decision.
And
we've been needing one for a couple of seasons now, and just basically kind of put band-aids over it. I really wish we would have retained and re-signed Emmanuel Sanders, but we couldn't for financial reasons. And even at that, I mean, like, he's up in age and older, but I mean, he would have been better than what we had. Hey, I would have been better last season than with some of the guys that we had. It's just so yeah, we definitely need to look at drafting a wide receiver. I definitely think that that's where we're going to be headed on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, like, even Callaway looked good early on in the preseason. Everybody was talking about the connection with Winston, then he kind of disappeared. And
yeah, he was really disappointing. Like, he was supposed to be like our next Colston, and he just kind of disappeared. And I don't know if it was confidence. I don't know if, I mean, because what you see, we call them project players. What we see in preseason, training camp, mini camp doesn't always relay on the field. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys, I've went out to camp and evaluated, and I'm like, man, he's going to be something. And then, come game day, just, in the shadows. So Callaway had a good season last year. This year, it didn't reflect. Maybe it was a lack of chemistry because Jameis wasn't behind center anymore. I don't know. But I think after this season, if he doesn't perform at the level, you're probably not going to see him in the Saints uniform.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, with Sean Payton, him having trust issues with Jameis Winston, I feel like if there's one quarterback in the NFL that's going to give me trust issues, it's probably Jameis Winston. After that 30 year in Tampa, he might be a guy that you might want to keep on the leash a little bit.
I love Sean Payton.
As a Bucs fan, that was hard.
For our city. And he's a great coach. But, sometimes Sean got in his own way. And it was really unexpected of him to retire like he did this year. And we're just at a point where, it's no longer the Sean Payton, Drew Brees show. So, I mean, Dennis Allen is a defensive coach. He has a different demeanor on the sidelines, relationship with the players. We don't have Drew Brees under center. So this is just going to be a completely new era of Saints football. But, and how is that going to reflect to if Jameis is our quarterback in August, September, how is that going to reflect in a relationship that he will be able to build with Jameis?
Right, and like you were saying with the
you gotta trust the guy. I mean, there's a lot of times Drew change plays, and Sean would say one thing, and Drew would be like, "No, I want to do this," and nobody ever questioned it because they had such good chemistry. And it takes time to build that. And Sean and Jameis just didn't get a chance to do it. Now, with Dennis being our DC, and then now he's our head coach, and Jameis, if he comes back this year, they going to have a little bit longer relationship together. It's just Dennis on the other side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, I mean, I fully expect this team to do better this year if Jameis is our quarterback. I do not expect us to finish any worse than we did last season. And I totally think we would have won the division this year had he not gotten hurt.
I respectfully disagree with you, but like you said, they should take a receiver in the first round. There's a lot of good receiver talent that are probably going to go in the first round this year, so that would definitely be a good fit for them. But you mentioned a little bit that you think they would definitely have a better year if Jameis got to play the whole year. Would you officially say they're going to have a better or worse season this season than last season?
Oh, no, we definitely would have a better season this year. There's no reason for me to think we wouldn't. I mean, with all the adversity that we went through last year, we still finished 9-8. I mean, if Jameis is healthy and continues on the same path and has the same numbers that he did last year, there's no reason for me not to think we still have our running backs. We'll probably lose Alvin Kamara for 4 games. I expect that, but we lost him for a couple of games last year. Tony Jones Jr. and Mark Ingram. I mean, of course they're not, the same level as Kamara, but I mean, with what we had last year, like I said, we still finished 9-8, and we're like, a hair away from the playoffs. So I don't think if Jameis comes back and we stay healthy and we don't have the same issues this season, I don't expect us to finish any worse. There's no reason for us not to. Our defense, top 5 defense. We have Will Lutz coming back this season. We won't have those kicker issues we had last year with the kicker carousel. I don't have those concerns.
So, final question. Where are you going to place the Saints in division next season?
Well, it all just depends on what's going to happen. I mean, the Bucks were 1, we were 2. Brady's gone. And even when Brady was there, we swept them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what's going to happen with the Panthers. I mean, the Falcons, they haven't risen up at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be careful what I say because I have family over there, and that's like an issue. Being from New Orleans, I'm a fan, and I have family in Atlanta, but gotta love them. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, if our guys stay healthy, Jameis comes back, and we stay on the same track we were, we can take the division. We would have taken it. I really, truly believe we would have taken it if not been 1 game out of the league last year. Because, like I said, we swept Brady those 2 games. We were on our 4th string quarterback at one point, and I mean, there's absolutely no reason. We have the talent there. Our defense won a lot of games for us. My bigger concern is going to be, the schedule and where we're going to be positioned in certain games, and especially with that London game this year, because that's always given us, issues with traveling and home field advantage isn't really no more of an advantage in the dome. It seems like.
Mm-hmm. Well, we wish you and the Saints the best of luck.
I don't, because I'm a Bucs fan.
Oh. Wow. I'm a Patriots fan, so we don't play you again next year, so I don't care. But thanks for coming on. If you want to plug your podcasts one last time, anything else you want to plug?
Want to follow me online, I am at TheNOLAGirl on Twitter. You can catch us weekly on Floors Truly Podcast. We're on YouTube and all podcast apps, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're there. And then, of course, you can check us out, Canal Street Chronicles. We are your online news site for all your analysis and Saints breaking news.
Can you say it's the year of the beer before you leave?
It's the year of the beer?
Heck yeah.
There you go.
That's all we want.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans. That's all you need to know.
There you go.
Respect.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank y'all, and who dat?
What's up? Who dat? I have 2 lists on my paper. That's why I messed up earlier. You remember how I was asking you the order before the episode? But I see now we had Saints. Now we have Panthers. We got our man Timmy on at Tim, TIMMVO 360 on
There
Twitter.
he is.
Came on to talk about the Panthers. What's up, my man? How's it going?
Going good, James. How are you?
It's great, man. It's great to have you on. We appreciate you having on. Talk
Appreciate it,
a
guys.
little bit about the division. I know you've been
Yeah,
listening,
yeah.
so we could just same kind of thing going on. What are some of the Panthers' strengths for this upcoming year?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's going to have to be our defense.
Right, and I was a big Sam Darnold believer at the beginning of the season, so it's definitely gonna have to be led by the defense if he plays how he played for the second half of his season last year. But on the offensive side of the ball, even the quarterback position, would you consider that to be some of y'all's weaknesses?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's multi-tiered too. Of course, you have the Sam situation, and then we have obviously a new coordinator. Sam's going to use his lingo, and he does things McAdoo. And then there's this whole situation of we're paying Sam $18 million this season. If we draft another quarterback, so we bring in a veteran. I know that they'll talk about Cousins, but that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Russell went elsewhere and those other things. It's starting to look like either we got this extra money by restructuring people's contracts to pull Cam in, or to get Hassan Reddick back. It's going to be interesting, but definitely our quarterback room is definitely.
Is there anybody like in the draft that you think they should take? Or no?
Me personally, like with the sixth pick now,
Mm-hmm.
that's too high for these guys, man. I mean, it's not. No knock on Pickett. He had a great season last year. Obviously, I mean, he's talented, but to me, what we have in terms of the franchise, we really need to shore up our offensive. It's been the case since Cam was there. After the 2015 season with Cam, our offensive production just went. Christian hit a lot of our firing gaps. He's a dual threat. Obviously, last year, our offensive line, it just. I like Pickett. Nah, I love Malik. He's a great kid. His upside's ridiculous, man. But again, I mean, we bring him here. Are you really going to put him in a position to start when you're paying $18 million to Sam? And there's just a lot of moving parts in that. I don't. I would prefer an offensive lineman, or we can get one of the best player available and trade back and get some picks. Because we don't have a second in the that's really hurt.
Right.
And the other big question I saw is kind of, with CMC getting hurt once again, is whether they could trade him this offseason. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the talks are they're entertaining potential situations for him, but I don't think it's a good idea to be honest with you. But we can't afford to let somebody go of that caliber as a what if, right? What if we trade him away and he has a stellar year in another team and he's just bad? I mean, that would make us look so bad.
Yeah.
And you don't put a lot of money into a running back, but Chris McCaffrey's more than that, right? I mean, he's a decoy. He's a hell of a receiver coming out the backfield. There was a couple of games last year where he damn near had 100% with 10 plus targets in the passing game. It's amazing what he can do. Just putting Christian in the running back category is kind of a dishonor to him because he's more than that. But if we can get a first round pick for that kid, which we won't, if we can get a first round pick for CMC, that would be beautiful. Sure, line him up. I love the guy, but okay, fine. Let's start over. There's too much money about Christian.
Yeah.
I think it was through, 4 games last year. They were off to a good start. Everybody's like, Panthers, watch out for them, playoff race. I mean, when Sam was playing well.
I sounded like a genius.
Yeah, you did.
For those first 3 weeks, man, it was awesome. We were killing it. Even when Sam had a mediocre game, I think it was whenever we got a lead on teams, we can just quarterback. It was terrible. If we could do that again, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, knowing how they finished this past year, missing the playoffs, overall record, all that stuff, do you think they'll have a better or worse season this upcoming season than they did last? Especially with the rest of the division maybe getting a little weaker.
Yeah, I was listening to that. What the Bucks and the Saints, and we dominated the Saints the first time we played them. That was when we was playing good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What our division opponents don't realize is we still have the best defense going into the next season out of the division. I mean, now granted, the Bucks had a great defense going throughout the season, but I think we can have a better season next year if Coach Rule just kind of just stays out the way and let the pros do what the pros do. Bringing in McAdoo was a great idea, offensively speaking. Of course, Coach Snow has done his thing on defense. And I think a lot of people are not understanding what our secondary coach came in. He actually was a part of Rivera's coaching when Coach Rivera was here. He has a great background with defensive schemes and things of that nature. So I think we can have a better season next year. If we can run the football, I think that'll be a benefit and keep the ball out of Sam's hands. All right, don't have to make mistakes. So I think we're going to go this season.
Who would you put as your, expected team MVP next year if you had to pick one?
I think Christian McCaffrey if he stays healthy, and potentially Brian Burns because he's due to have a breakout year because he was kind of quiet last year.
He's good. He's underrated.
Yeah,
he is, bro. He's freaky. He really is.
Look at DJ Moore's another guy that really doesn't get enough credit either. I mean, if he had a pretty good QB with him, he'd be putting up huge numbers.
Absolutely, and I mean, he already puts up huge numbers, and he's had a different quarterback almost every season he's played.
Yeah,
and he still puts up over 1,000 yards a season.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy, man. My personal critique. I wish he would run cleaner routes. His route is still on. His ability to go up and get the football, I kind of wish we would use him more like Debo's used in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I think he can get.
He's that kind of player.
He is. He really is. So yeah, DJ, he's pretty much. If Christian, I take that back. If Christian gets injured next year, it'll probably be our MVP. He's quiet, man. He doesn't make a lot of noise, but he does the job on the field. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one more. Who do you think will be their big off-season acquisition if you could pick one?
Wow. I would like to say Russell Wilson, but that ain't gonna happen. It depends. It could be in the draft. It could happen, but he has a no trade clause, and I don't think he's gonna come to Carolina and deal with the bullshit. I don't think he's gonna come to Carolina and deal with the bullshit, bro. I mean, a lot of Panther fans want the guy. Deshaun Watson is a damn good quarterback, and when he's healthy, I mean, can't knock that. But there's gonna be a lot of baggage coming with him.
Yeah.
But our biggest acquisition is probably gonna come either through free agency at the offensive line position, or it's going to be a draft pick.
Yeah.
It can go a lot of ways with us because we have a lot of uncertainty. So it depends. But I hope it's a free agency signing. So there are some pretty stellar offensive linemen in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's like that, so we can focus on other things in the future.
That makes sense. All right. Well, want to thank you for coming on. Really a pleasure talking to you. Our resident
Absolutely.
Panthers fan. Wishing you guys the best of luck next season. Definitely a lot of room to improve, and I hope that they do.
Is there anything you want to plug before you go? Your podcast?
Yeah. Check out the Panther Comms podcast. We'll have a YouTube channel, Panther Comms podcast. You can catch us on Podbean. It's a relatively new podcast, so we're not all over the place right now. Of course, my Twitter handle is TimmyBO360. You can catch me on Facebook also at TimmyBO.
Sounds great, man. Thanks for coming on, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the guys. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to get my beer.
Oh, for sure. Wait, can you say year of the beer real fast before you go? Can you say it's the year of the beer?
It's the year of the beer.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, fellas. Take it easy.
You too.
So we covered the Bucks, the Saints, the Panthers. Now we move on to the team with the best player in the NFL. Talk the Atlanta Falcons with the Basement Fantasy Football Podcast at the Basement FF on Twitter.
What's going on, guys?
How does it feel to have Kyle Pitts? How does it feel to have Kyle Pitts? First of all, before I even ask how are you, how does it feel?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I appreciate you guys having me on and everything, but it does feel good to have one good player on our team right now, so that's cool.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, rounding out the NFC South for us. Coming on, talking about the Panthers, but moving into next year, what do you think some of y'all's strengths are going to be?
They're few and far between right now, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm a realistic Falcons fan. I used to be one of those happy-go-lucky kind of guys. It's kind of diminished. Our strengths, there's not a lot. We got Kyle Pitts, like you mentioned. We got AJ Terrell. He's actually been really solid, pretty locked down. Mm-hmm. Grady Jarrett's always a beast. I did hear some trade rumors going around with him, so hopefully we can keep him. But other than that, man, we got some good draft picks, and that's about it right now.
At least you're realistic.
Yeah.
So more specifically into those few and far betweens, what would you say the top one or even the top two weaknesses are on the team?
Shit, man. Okay, so weaknesses. I mean, definitely the pass rush, dude. The pass rush, I'm pretty sure, dead last. Matt Ryan was like the 11th most sacked quarterback. It's just not good at all on defense. We got to get some pressure. We got to get one of these top edge rushers, in my opinion, if we don't, decide to trade back, which I wouldn't be opposed to either. We don't have any wide receivers. All our wide receivers contracts are ending. I don't even need to mention Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, we do. We saved that to talk about with you.
All right. So Calvin Ridley is an absolute idiot. I mean, I don't really know how much of an idiot you have to be to go and bet on an NFL game, let alone the Falcons. Like, dude, at least bet against us. Like, we're trash.
Here you go.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough to see because at least there are some weapons. At least like maybe a trade, like you could get something back for him.
Oh yeah, he screwed us. We can't get anything for him now. We're stuck. That pushes the the cap space a little bit. We don't have his 11 mil on our book right now, but it does come back next year. So we have to move him next year, or we're just stuck paying him. So.
You think any chance the suspension gets reduced, or you think a whole year?
Nah, I think it's a whole year. I think for sure a whole year.
Right. So if you ever think about if you're an NFL player and you ever want to bet on a football game, just go beat your wife instead.
Dude, straight up.
Only get into 2 games.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Unless you're Ray Rice. Don't do it on camera. That's the only thing.
Don't do it in an elevator.
Yeah.
Certain stuff passes.
Just absolutely.
Well, you named a lot of weaknesses, sadly. You do have Kyle Pitts, but you named a lot of weaknesses. What should the Falcons' number one goal be this offseason?
Number one goal, dude. I mean, we just have to fill as many holes as we can. There's a shit ton of holes, man. I mean, I'd love one of those top 3 edge rushers to fall to us at 8. I like that Kayvon Thibodeau dude. He's good as fuck, I'm sure, but that's not happening more than likely. I could see us taking a top cornerback. I'm fine with that. I do want to address some defensive issues before we go and push for, I don't want us to take a quarterback quite yet. I don't think they're good enough. I like Malik Willis, I do. And
Yeah, Felipe Franks.
What's that?
I said you got Felipe Franks.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's awesome, right?
Yeah, love that guy.
Yeah, I don't know about awesome.
No, he's not it. So yeah,
You're gonna break
if we end
Trevor's
up
heart.
with Malik, I'll be fine with that.
So obviously this team's a bit far away. How many years do you think this team is away from actually like being a contender?
So, the Falcons organization, they talk a lot about not being too focused on the future and not being too focused on the now. I don't think that makes any fucking sense at all. I think we need to focus on the future right now. We need to look at 2023 as a starting point. Because it's not. I would expect, best case scenario, we're touching 500 this season.
I mean, they were like surprisingly in the playoff race till like the last few weeks last season for even how bad they played.
Oh, that's what they do. They like to give us a glimmer of hope, even though they know that there isn't any.
They try.
They try. They do.
Are you?
They can't even tank. They can't tank properly either.
Are you a podcast too, or no?
No, man. So I'm just getting started. You guys caught me super early on, man. So I'm trying to get things to work right now.
I think I introduced you as a podcast. I misgendered you. My bad.
Hey, man. No offense taken. I'll get there soon.
My bad. Yeah. So not a podcast, but address some of those weaknesses. What do you think they should do? Did we already say first round pick? Who do you think they should take? What position? First round pick.
We kind of went over it. So I kind of have a feeling they want to go quarterback, which I think is a mistake. If we end up with Malik Willis, I'm okay with it. Hopefully he'll sit behind Matt Ryan. I don't know. I don't think Matt Ryan's going anywhere, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think we need to get rid of Matt Ryan right now because he's only like one of the only stable things we have on the team right now, and that's barely stable. It's Matt Ryan, and he's like, I don't know, he's like 52 right now or something like that.
How many years do you think he'll stay with Atlanta, or do you think this is the last year? Or maybe they surprise us and trade him. You never know.
So, I mean, I could see him on the Steelers. At this point, I feel like that's the only other team that he could be on with all the trades going down right now. I think this could be his last season with us. Honestly, I don't know. We got to move on from him at some point.
I mean, I just feel bad for him. I'm a Patriots fan. The Patriots-Falcons game last year, I just felt bad for the guy that when that O-line, I forget how many times he got sacked, but you just get
every game. Every game is terrible.
I mean, they do. I mean, they did have weapons last year. I mean, Cordell Patterson had a great year. They got Pitts. Russell Gage flashed a little bit. I mean, they do have a couple pieces on offense.
No, we have some pieces. Now we need an alpha wide receiver because Russell Gage is solid, man. I like Russell Gage, but he's not an alpha. Kyle Pitts, you can't beat that. Can't change that. He's not going anywhere. We need some more we need a running back now because I think Cordell Patterson's probably gone. So
he was so good for me in fantasy this year.
Running back too.
Not bringing back Mike Davis again.
Nah, dude. Mikey's out.
Well,
where do you see the Falcons ending up in the division this year? If you're being realistic.
I mean, third or fourth. It's third or fourth. I mean, our division is getting a little bit worse, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things. We're the worst of the worst, more than likely. Maybe we'll fight for that.
Get a better draft pick.
Yeah. But the Falcons can't even tank properly. Like I said, we'll finish 500 for no reason.
Do you have any Falcons jerseys? Like, what jersey do you have?
I got a Julio jersey.
There you go.
Yeah, Julio's the go.
Julio, Roddy White, come on.
Ooh, Roddy White was that boy.
Steven
He was a
Jackson.
beast.
Do you have a secondary team, or you're all Falcons?
I'm pretty much all Falcons, man. My buddy's a Giants fan, so I low key root for the Giants, but I also kind of, because of that, root for them to suck because that's more fun.
So you wake up on Sundays and your two choices are Falcons and Giants.
Oh no! We watching Red Zone illegally, boys.
No, that's
Shout out to StreamEast.io. Not a sponsor.
Oh, I'm a Crack Streams guy. Crack Streams here.
Okay.
All right. What is your biggest prediction for the Falcons next season? You know, Kyle Pitts doubling his touchdown.
MVP.
That's a good question. I could see something like Kyle Pitts going for like, you know, something crazy like over maybe 1,200 yards or something like that. I could see AJ Terrell being like a leader in interceptions. We didn't see a lot of interceptions from him last year, but he was still shut down. So I could see him leading some interceptions or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. Nothing. I don't expect anything like crazy. Like I don't expect if Matt Ryan comes back, he's not going to be like, you know, leading in the pass yards department or anything like that. I don't think whatever rushing dude we get, I don't think he's going to be leading anything. Our leader's going to be probably Kyle Pitts in yards and shit like that.
Okay.
Best player on the team.
Unless we want to go, you know, early draft, like super early, get that number 1 wide receiver in this draft. I don't know. Treylon Burks, that would be fun.
I mean,
Burks is good. And you know who he has chemistry with? You know where he went to college?
I forgot. Where'd he go?
Arkansas. You know who else was in Arkansas?
Let me hear it.
Felipe Franks.
Oh, there we go.
He has chemistry with Kyle Pitts and Burks.
That's the future right there. That's the future.
Matt Ryan's going to be on the bench by week 5.
Matt Ryan's going to be in a wheelchair by week 5.
Oh, man.
That seems more realistic. And where do you put Terrell among cornerbacks heading into next year? Is he in your top 5, top 3?
I put him in probably top 5. I don't. He's still pretty young, pretty raw in some ways, so I'm not going to put him in that top 3 quite yet. But he's a fucking beast, and he's only going to get better.
He is a beast.
He is. Really great player.
Well, I think that wraps everything up. We appreciate having you on, coming to talk about the Falcons with us, talking about Kyle Pitts with us. You want to plug anything, give your Twitter a shout out or anything before you hop off?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, everybody, at Basement Fantasy. Let me make sure I said that right. Yeah, the Basement FF. So, yeah, I'm just kind of starting out right now, trying to get, you know, somewhat of a following going right now. So just give me a follow, and I'm going to be pumping out some content and shit like that. So, yeah.
You're on the right way. But if you say it's the year of the beer, you'll have good luck.
It is the year of the beer. Also, I am sipping a beer right now, just so y'all know.
There you
sipping
go.
a little Modelo right now.
What do you got?
Hello Modelo Negro right now with the lime.
Hey,
Gotta have the lime. Gotta have the lime.
I like it.
Hey.
The Negra.
Modelo Blanco.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, appreciate you having on tonight. We'll be in touch.
Yes, sir.
So thank you again for all of our guests who came on tonight. Really, really appreciated everyone coming on, being willing to talk about their team, talk about the weaknesses, the strengths, how they're going to finish next season, what's the offseason going to look like for them. Really want to thank everyone who showed up tonight. Guys.
Is it time? Is it time for the best part of the episode?
It's the year of the beer. What, the end?
Rapid fire tweets.
Wait, hold on. Before we go to rapid fire tweets, which team do you think is going to win the division next year?
Saints.
Broncos.
Yeah, man.
Bucks by 50.
All right, for that, I'm taking the Saints. I'm with you, Kerry.
Yo. I mean, if they get good QB play, they're dangerous.
Yeah, they
Bucks,
really are.
No. Yeah, I know about that. All right. We haven't been on in 2 weeks. I get a lot of tweets.
Yay.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Go through a few. Quick answers. Let's go. Pick one in their prime. Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu. Who you taking?
Ed Reed.
You did not say his last name right.
I know.
Zach's taking Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. Ed Reed.
Trevor?
Ed Reed. Ed Reed.
Give me Troy.
Ew, disgusting. He's a dirty player.
2009, Chris Johnson, or 2020, Derrick Henry?
2009, Chris Johnson.
2020, Henry. Well, yeah, because the team had a little more success, I'll give it to Henry. But CJ2K was insane.
Yes.
All right, who's the best wide receiver here? Robbie Anderson, Brandon Ayuk, Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne?
Can you
I'm
redo
taking
those
Ayuk.
names? Do those names again?
Ayuk.
Robbie
He's
Anderson.
you don't get used enough. I'm taking Ayuk.
Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne.
I'm going Ayuk as well.
I like that. All right, start one, bench one, cut one. Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews.
No Kyle Pitts. Oh, because he would have been obviously the starter.
Kittle, bench Kelsey, cut Andrews.
Trevor?
Cut Kittle. Start Kelsey, bench Andrews.
All right, this is just for Trevor.
Wait, what would you say for that one, Gary?
Yeah.
For me, I would start Kelsey, bench Kittle, sit and cut Andrews. Sadly.
Yeah.
You guys are tripping. He has like the most touchdowns in the last like 2 or 3 years.
That's because Lamar can't throw to wide receivers.
Not another anti-Lamar episode.
It's always an anti-Lamar
doing
episode.
that.
Trevor, who was the Bucks
Yeah, it is.
before Brady?
Jeff Garcia.
That's sad.
Wait, what? What was the question?
Bucks GOAT QB before Brady.
Trent Dilfer.
You gotta go Brad Johnson, don't you?
Yeah, BJ.
No, you can't go Brad Johnson. Maybe Testaverde?
What?
Yeah, okay. Josh Freeman had one really good year.
Yeah. I'd probably go Testaverde. Honestly.
Yeah, it could be any of them, honestly. All right, what
alarm's about to go off? So alarm's about to go off, so I'm gonna have to run back and undo the alarm real quick. But just keep.
All
going.
right.
We'll carry.
Trevor, rapid fire. Let's go. What team will Amari Cooper be on next season?
The Dolphins.
Where do you rank Larry Fitzgerald all time among wide receivers?
Third.
19.
Third.
18.
No, not third. Top 10. I don't know. I don't have a list in front of me.
16.
All right, pick one in their prime. Roddy White, Steve Smith, T.Y. Hilton, Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall in Miami. Wait, who was the third one?
T.Y. Hilton.
Ew, no. Brandon Marshall in Miami.
All right, who will be the biggest QB bust and who will be the best QB of this year's draft?
Oh, hang on. Zach, which QB will have the biggest bust?
Okay. Who will be the biggest QB bust and be the best QB of this year's draft?
I think Corral. I can see Corral being both. Corral bust. Kenny Pickett. You know it's going to be some freaking third or fourth rounder.
Yeah.
I
take Pickett to be safe and Corral's the bust.
Oh, we have the same thing, yeah.
I'll take it.
Wait, what happened?
What else we got? What quarterback is going to have the biggest bust?
Which will be the biggest bust of this year's rookie QBs, and who will be the best QB from this rookie QB draft class?
Biggest bust is going to be Willis, and I'm going to say Pickett's going to be the best.
All right. Who you taking in their prime? This was our biggest tweet of the last 2 weeks. Who you taking in their prime, Michael Vick or Cam Newton?
Vic.
Newton.
You know who Zach's going to take in this one?
Vic.
Newton or Vic?
Zach's going to take freaking Tony Romo.
Vic.
Okay.
Give me Vic.
Give me Cam. Give me Cam by a
million.
million.
A much better year than Vic ever did. If you look at their stats, it's nowhere near.
Vic had a great stretch of like 5-6 games, but Cam was better all season.
Yeah, like Cam's MVP season, you look at his stats, Vic's nowhere near him.
Look how he played in the Super Bowl. He did great, right?
True.
Diving all the way of fumbles.
Vic didn't even get there.
All right, pick two of these cornerbacks. Darius Slay, Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson, Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Terrell. Who is that? Denzel Ward. I didn't even see.
You just roasted the fuck out of Denzel Ward.
Didn't you make the tweet, bro?
Give me Xavier.
A.J. Terrell and Xavier Howard.
I was gonna say that, Trevor. That's a good one. I like that.
No.
This guy.
All right, which wide receiver duo would you rather have? Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, or Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore?
McLaurin.
Yeah.
Washington.
Who you rank higher? Joe Montana, Peyton Manning.
Montana.
Joe Mama.
Wow, dude. Another great one from Mr. Kirkland.
They named a state after him.
Peyton Manning went to Tennessee, so I'm going Joe Mama. Joe
Oh, again.
They named the state after him. That's how good of a quarterback he was.
Rank these quarterbacks. Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott.
Dak 4, Russell... No, hold on. Derek Carr 3, Russell 2, Kirk Cousins 1.
Wow.
Ew. Give me Dak Carr.
Actually, no. Fuck that. Russell Wilson 3.
Dak Carr,
Give me
Kirk,
Carr
Russ.
2.
But this next coming year, Russ is going to be 1 or 2. But last year, Russ was last.
It's not happening. Yeah. It's not happening.
Kirk Cousins 3rd. Derek Carr 2nd. Rain Dakota Prescott 1st.
All right. This question is just to Trevor because me and Zach are biased. Which of these trios would you rather have? Mac, Damian Harris, and Jacoby Myers, Zach Wilson, Michael Carter, and Elijah Moore, or Trevor Lawrence, James Robinson, Laviska Shenault?
Why Laviska and not any of the other receivers on that team?
Homegrown players only, sadly.
Say the Patriots one again?
Mac, Damian Harris, Jacoby Myers.
Even though Harris isn't probably going to come back?
Yeah, he is.
Oh. Well, then I would probably have a threesome with the Patriots one.
Yeah. All right. Who will be the better QB in 2022? Jameis Winston or Baker Mayfield?
Oh, God.
Bake. He's going to be healthy. Bake.
Give me Bake.
Back on the train this year. I'm back on the train this year.
I'm not on the train, but I don't trust Jameis. I was going to bring that up at the end of the podcast. Like, we heard Riley say, I do not want Jameis Winston back in Tampa. And then we heard the other one from the Saints.
Yeah, freaking 10 minutes later.
Yeah, say Jameis has a chance to be the great quarterback that the Saints need. But I'm going to go with Baker.
All right, pick one in their prime. Michael Turner, Corey Dillon, Arian Foster, Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh, God.
Zach's taking Maurice Jones-Drew.
No, that's so
but he also
hard.
loves Michael Turner. Arian Foster.
It's between Arian Foster and MJD, honestly. I'm going to go MJD because he was better for longer.
Arian was so...
All right.
It's in their prime.
He had a longer prime.
Prime just said their best.
Longer meat.
All right. Last question tonight. It is a great one about two excellent quarterbacks. Which of these QBs do you have more faith in? Drew Lock or Sam Darnold?
Drew Lock. Drew Lock. By a
Drew
mile.
Lock has more weapons.
By a mile. Drew Lock. He can't even he can't even really finish his name. He can't even say it. He knows he's not it. He knows he's not.
I'm gonna plead my Fifth Amendment right.
He doesn't want to say it, Gary.
He knows it.
He knows it's Drew.
That's not true. All you're saying right now is inferences. You're just inferencing. You're assuming. It's not factual. I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Good answer. That is it for our rapid fire tweets of the week.
All right.
Don't make it sound like we're wrapping up. I've only mentioned Beerly Hoops once. At Beerly Hoops on Twitter. Weekly podcast.
Is there anything you guys want to plug before we go?
All right, I'll go first, I guess. Follow us on Instagram at Beerly Sports. Follow us on Twitter at Beerly Baseball for baseball content. Follow us on Twitter at Beerly Football for football content. Follow us on Twitter at Beerly Sports for all Beerly content in one place. And lastly, Trevor will take over from here.
I'm coming out. I'm just kidding. I meant to say this at the beginning of the episode. I can't believe I freaking forgot. But I think it was last week I had the chance to be on a radio station in Abilene, Texas.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to give a shout out to Rick. Was it Rick Payne? Was it something Payne?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Rick Payne. Yeah, and him and the guys up there at Rock 108 in Abilene, Texas.
It was great to be interview. It was a great interview. I listened to it. It was really good.
It was, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I meant to bring that up at the beginning, but I got a little too beerly. But yeah, at Beerly Hoops on Twitter, basketball heads, basketball fans, whether it's college basketball, we're in one of the best sports times of the year in March. March Madness kicking off. We're going to have some episodes, 5, 6, 7 episodes covering that. And then our weekly podcast about NBA. It's a really great time. One of my favorite parts of the week. It's the year of the beer.
Year of the beer.
All right. So
out.
I will finish by plugging, my stuff. You can follow me.
All right, Zach, go ahead and
you can follow me. You can follow me on TikTok at SportsGuyZach. You can follow me on Twitter at TheGolfGuyZach.
Wow.
And check out our website, BeerlySports.com. Why do both of you guys shake your head? Did you guys visit the website?
Yeah, there's a naked picture of Carrie on the home screen.
There better not be, I swear to God. Hold on. I'm about to fire somebody right here. You better be joking, I swear to God. Why would you do that?
It's free real estate, baby.
No, that's not okay. Hold on.
It's the year of the beer. No, it's a picture of FGCU at March Madness like 5 years ago or however long ago that was, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Too long.
All right, and if you want to get an article that you write posted on the BeerlySports.com page, please just send it into the email beerlysports@gmail.com. That's beerlysports.
Unless it sucks, don't send it.
We do articles about all kinds of different sports: basketball, football, baseball. I did one this past week on disc golf because that season's starting up. But if any of that,
does people care about that?
Hey man, disc golf's got a big following. It really does.
We're not slandering disc golf for no reason.
Anyway,
so you're the beer.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. And that is all we have for this week. We will see you guys next time.